Welcome to the show where we explore the who, what, where, how, and why of the extraordinary people who define our north of normal metro. I'm Conrad Fargo, and this is the Fargo Five. Today we have Matt Lau, who's the owner of many things, Downtown Health and Wellness, The Forge, and Oasis. Hello, Matt.
Hey, Conrad. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I know you because Josh Soul, very good friend of mine, previous guest to the show as well, recommended you. You're a 03 Spud.
I am.
When
proud
I looked
Spud.
Up, yeah, we got a lot of mutual friends. I'm an 04 Spud, so we definitely walked the halls at the same time.
We
together.
sure did. Yeah.
That place is torn down now. Did you see it before they tore it down at all?
I did. Yeah, it's just wild seeing it now.
It's weird walking into it. Like, I had flashbacks. It was crazy, right? Like, It was like, oh, man, remember when I was 16? Whoa. But you're the owner, not of a lonely heart, but of many other things, Why don't you explain, if somebody were to ask you what it is that you do, how would you explain who you are in like 30 or 60 seconds?
Yeah, so I'm a chiropractor in Moorhead. Clinic is Downtown Health and Wellness. We recently rebranded. We were one of the clinic in the Moorhead Center Mall, and we were Downtown Chiropractic at that time. We're kind of branching out. We're adding a whole bunch of new stuff and new energy to the downtown Moorhead area. And we're creating a new fitness center that's going to be the Forge. We've got a new spa that's coming. That's going to be the Oasis. And I didn't tell you, but we've also got a couple new things as well. The downtown aesthetics, where we're going to have some injectables and laser treatments.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to have a fuel house, what we call the fuel house. And that's shakes, teas, coffee, within the building as well.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's
dropping secrets on you.
Well,
buddy.
that's a lot of things that you're involved in.
Yep.
The first thing I would sink my teeth into, though, is the fact that you're a chiropractor.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier how I'm a realtor, and whenever I say that I have to say I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Premier Properties. Got to say the whole things because there's a lot of licensing around real estate, also around being a chiropractor. And you guys don't like it when we say chiropractic, right? Or
it's
you're less
chiropractic is what we do.
Previous guest of the show was a chiropractor who I met through networking, and I always joke about networking groups that you get a realtor, a mortgage guy, a personal finance guy, an insurance guy, and a chiropractor. You get those five into a room, they'll just start their own networking group.
Sure,
because it is for whatever reason, those professions, it's like our job to know people, right? Like, do you do a lot of networking yourself?
On the golf course.
Okay.
I don't belong to many networking groups.
Oh, really?
But,
so you've never been to like a Master Networks or a BNI or anything like that?
I haven't. No, I've just kind of naturally grown this myself.
Okay. Well, and I want to dig into the who, what, where, how, and why of you, but I've got my hands on this one, and it's interesting. So how did you meet Josh?
Early this year, my business partner, Dr. Gilbertson, and I were looking at expanding this business and creating this fitness center. So we kind of just posted out there looking for help. We as chiropractors are not going to be the best gym managers, so we needed someone to kind of do that.
Yeah.
And Josh reached out to us, and the more we talked to Josh, found out that he worked at the SBDC, and he's done a lot of startup stuff, and Josh has really kind of sank his teeth into this thing.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So you are currently this serial entrepreneur. You got a lot of stuff, but it's yet to be started. A lot of these things, the gym is new, the Oasis is new. You got all these new secret things you told me about. Yeah. But heretofore, you were very much like your typical chiropractor. Would that be correct?
Yeah, absolutely. That was my sole profession. That's what we were doing.
Whoa.
And branching out, and like I said, we knew that we needed help. We had to put this and trust this in someone capable's hands.
Okay, so you have what's launched so far? Just the practice mostly then?
Right now, Downtown Health and Wellness has moved into our new building, and we are just getting downtown aesthetics right off of its feet.
Okay,
we're looking at in the next 4 weeks, hopefully, that we'll have the Forge and the Oasis starting up. And then maybe 4 weeks after that, have the fuel house.
Yeah.
Go.
So many different things that
Yep.
you're trying to get up and running. So, I normally, we start with what? Like, what is it like being you? And this, often it's somebody who is already doing one thing. You are in a big point of transition. What is that like, waking up every day with, the contractors are behind and da-da-da-da-da?
Yeah.
Like, what? Are you married, or do you have kids? Like, what's it like trying to, live this way?
Yeah, recently divorced, 3 kids, wonderful, awesome kids. Just absolutely love them. Yeah, it's been a handful of a year. To be honest with you, this past year, going through everything.
Jeez.
And
so much
a lot of stress and anxiety, a lot of change.
And are you seeing? Do you have a lot of time with the kids, or
50-50.
Wow,
time.
that much?
Yep.
Okay, not always do the
that was a
fathers get
priority
that
of mine.
much. Okay,
Well, I was willing to fight for those kids.
Good on you. So I mean, you're trying to navigate. And sorry to get a little personal, but it's a show about who you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So you're trying to navigate this divorce, which is never easy.
No.
You've got 3 kids. How old are they?
My oldest, Wyatt, is 11.
Okay.
My daughter, Sophia, is 7.
Okay.
And my youngest one, Maverick, is 5. He just started kindergarten.
Wonderful. I got 6, 4, and 1 myself.
Oh, yeah.
So your oldest might not want to be included, but I will definitely start reaching out to you.
Yeah, 100%.
I like going with families to the zoo.
Yeah.
I'm famous for texting every other week saying, let's go to the zoo. Let's go to the zoo. And so you can, come or not. But
let's do it.
You're on my list now.
Perfect.
But you're trying to navigate kids. I know how much difficult that is. You've got a divorce. I can't imagine you're running your own chiropractic business with your business partner, another chiropractor, and so you guys are you were in the Moorhead Center Mall, so you're sharing a hole in the wall, basically, right?
It was a struggle for a while.
And now, day to day, you're trying to juggle all these new things. What is that like?
It's a big ordeal. I'm very lucky to have the support and the help that I do.
Yeah.
I couldn't do this all by myself.
Nobody can.
No.
So you're delegating a lot of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My wonderful staff that's been there for me, my business partner who's taken on a bunch of that stuff.
And how much staff do you guys have?
We have a business manager. We've got a front desk staff. Courtney, Liz was the first one. We've got 2 massage therapists, Kaylee and Lisa. Carrie's our new assistant who's helping out.
Wow. So it's not just you and the other chiropractor. So, because a lot of the times when you walk in, I feel like when you walk into a chiropractic, I mean, is it often so diversified underneath? Usually it's like a guy who you see, or maybe a guy and his receptionist, or do I have the wrong picture?
I'm sure we all do things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
The clinic that I'm in was the clinic that I went to as a kid.
Okay.
And I remember they always had 1 or 2 staff, 2 chiropractors for sure, which is fantastic. So someone's always got to get adjusted with us chiropractors. So it's always fun to lean on someone else to help us and treat us at the same time.
Well, and that's one of those, and there's a lot of, so like, and myself included, and maybe this is why we spend so much time networking. It's difficult to leverage because when what you provide is not a product, but a skilled service, like you're it. You're the thing. You're the thing, because I do a lot of consulting for real estate and small business. I'm very similar to Josh, but I do real estate as well. And it's difficult to get people under you, right? And that's because it's always relying on your 2 hands, literally in your case, to be on the person. But you have expanded and delegated so much to have a massage therapist. Is it common to pair massage therapy with chiropractic?
I see that some are doing that. For us, it makes a lot of sense that we're not just working on the bones, or I don't believe that the entirety of the problem is the bones and the alignment of everything. The bones are connected to the muscles are connected to the bones. So it's a kind of a 50-50 thing that I've always thought.
Is that heretical in the chiropractic sphere? Like,
I think so. I mean, we all do things and we all have our own philosophies, but I mean, that's kind of mine. So I've always thought myself, before treatment, I'm going to be working on a lot of the muscles. The more relaxed you are, the better that my treatments are going to be delivered.
Absolutely.
The longer that you're going to feel better for. So it's always kind of been a great idea to have a massage therapist who they can go a little bit deeper. They can spend more time with them. I can't spend an hour with my patients. I'd love to. A lot of them I'd love to, but then I got the next one.
But what's so from a business? I do real estate, but I also, like Josh, work for the SBDC.
Okay.
So I help people grow their businesses, and just like a business growth 101 is, what is your bottleneck? And when you're a service business, your bottleneck is, hello, I can only put my hands on so many people. So you without knowing it. So it sounds like you just almost accidentally, like, were you saying to yourself, I need to be able to leverage and expand? Or were you honestly, what is it that had you pair up with the massage therapist? Because I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. And what I'm trying to wrap my head around is, was that a deliberate, brilliant business choice, or are you just like an accidental genius?
So when I graduated in 2010 and I came in and started to work underneath who was my chiropractor, my mentor, Dr. Jeff Platson, we had a massage therapist employed at that time when I came in. So it was, in my career, we've always had a massage therapist, and they've come and go, and I've had a bunch of great ones. And, some not so great ones that we're not going to name either. It's always been part of my career and just kind of an integral part of it.
Yeah. So you were patterning after. So your boss is the visionary genius, perhaps.
Yeah. He would love to be called that.
But on top of that, now you're adding all these other things to leverage. In fact, a gym. I mean, basically, the Forge is basically a gym, right? So you go there, pick up heavy things, put them down.
24/7 public membership kind of fitness center.
That's more leveraging into something that's a place where nearly infinite people can come, is also way more leverageable than, again, just the service that you're doing with your hands. But it has fantastic synergy with everything you do, because, like you said, the muscles are connected to the bones, and muscular health is going to be a part of that. Where does the idea to expand into all these different things, where does that even come from?
So as far as the gym goes, well, if we rewind back to being in the Center Mall and Roar's coming in, Roar's buying the Center Mall on behalf of the city, and we've got to find a new home. So very quickly, we started to talk to Kevin Bartram of MBA in Fargo, and he
the Moorhead Business Association.
No, Muchler Bartram Architects.
Oh, okay.
So he's the developer of a lot of stuff that's going on in Moorhead.
Okay.
And so we're looking for this new home for our clinic.
Yeah.
And Kevin's got this building that he's planning out. And within that, we're wondering how much space do we need for the clinic? And we kind of made this idea and this leap and this dream that instead of just chiropractic and massage, which we'd already been doing, we wanted to make it an all-around disciplinary or multidisciplinary clinic. So adding mental health. We've got a counselor, Sheridan, that's working with us now.
Oh, wow.
Wow. We wanted to bring in physical therapy, and when we thought about physical therapy, that is kind of what led and stepped into the gym space. That bringing in physical therapy, treating people different ways, but kind of with the same goal. What I do isn't going to work for 100% of the people, and same for physical therapists and same for massage therapists. So the more ways that we can approach this healthcare and just kind of bring it into a one-stop shop, that was kind of our dream.
That's wild.
So with a physical therapist, we initially thought, well, we might need 1,000 square feet of gym space.
Yeah.
And then we started talking to Kevin, the developer, and he wasn't necessarily going to have gym space in the apartments that are above our building either. So we thought, well, what if we expand that, and came up with some kind of partnership for the tenants? And then that just kept expanding, and now it became a 24/7 gym space.
Okay. So, wow. Wow. I mean, that is a lot to, I want to, because I don't know that I had it. And I know Josh has been working on this for a long time, and it's been a big and exciting thing, but I wasn't aware of all these particulars. So let me make sure I have it right in my head. You guys were in the Moorhead Center Mall. Roar's kicked you out. You're trying to figure stuff out. You find an architect and you're like, hey, I need to find redo my thing in this itty bitty space. Could I be here? The architect has this. It's a multi-use, so it's going to be residential.
Right. Yep.
You have a built-in customer base right above you.
We've got
Nice.
commercial on the ground level, and there's 2 towers of residential.
And you said to him, and he said, I can't do. Best I can do is the whole level. Is that like? Do you have the whole ground level, or how's that working out? Like
we, the way that this kept going, we just kept dreaming bigger and bigger, and we eventually took all 12,000 square feet of the commercial space on Center Avenue.
That's more than a.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about orders of magnitude. You know, being the significant delineation point. You were looking for 1,000. Now you have 12. That's an order of magnitude more than you were originally planning.
Yeah.
Whoa! Are you? How does that feel? Like, how does it? It sounds when you tell it, it sounds like it just kind of happened on its own. But this has to be some kind of a deliberate. There's got to be something.
Well, I mean, certain things just happen in your life, and I think it all just happens for a reason. So,
okay.
With this whole Moorhead Center Mall, I mean, we had 2,250 square feet for the clinic.
Yeah.
We wanted to double that, so that became 4,500.
So you were looking for not 1,000, but 45.
Yeah,
1,000 was
the
for
1,000 was just for the gym space.
Oh, okay.
So
but
we turned
still
that
triple.
So then we turned that 1,000 into 6,500 square feet of gym space, and then we've got another about 1,500 for the spa.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
The spa space became a lot of different things. At one point, it was a cycle studio and a yoga studio, and then an Herbalife shake place, and we kind of settled on this spa idea.
But it started with you and your business partner. You've been cycling through and making use of massage therapists.
Mm-hmm.
You had maybe a few other people you mentioned, so it was like maybe a 7-man operation before, or like what was the size? I'm trying to get a sense.
Yeah. When we were in the Moorhead Center Mall, I think our staff size was at 5.
Yeah, and
5 total.
5, including you two, or
including
no?
us,
including
as
us,
employees,
including you and the other chiropractor. So, wow, 5 people, and now 12,000 square feet. All these things included. How many people? Like Josh included. I'm talking about the people who are bought in and are a part of it too. Like, how many people are we talking now?
Oh boy, I haven't really thought of all of it. I mean, Josh just had maybe 10 to 15 people in our conference room today training for the gym space. So there's that.
Yeah.
I mean, we could be talking 30.
When I don't know if you know,
all...
Josh hired previous guests of the show like 3 episodes ago. Karen is going to be working for you guys. Like you're eating up the whole town. Everybody's getting
someone's got to do
in
it
on this. And so 15 people in that room, but that's just for the gym.
That's
right?
was just for the gym. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this is like one of those, where it's like, oh, they got married in 1940, and then they had 6 kids, and they all had 6 kids, and then it's all the family reunion comes together. It's like this giant thing. It's like this, but with all of these businesses,
it's growing like a weed, and it's just
that's
fun,
astonishing.
Yeah.
Does it keep you up at night? How do you sleep?
You know what? I've never had a problem sleeping. That's how I rely on my business partner. He was up at 4 a.m. Thinking about everything that needs to be thought about.
He's the one stressing over the details.
Yeah, I sleep pretty good.
Okay, I would like to maybe paint the picture. So while all this is going on, and you're a key partner in it and a key architect of it. How many hours are you still? And you've always had those people under you, but how many hours of a week are you still doing the literal hands-on work? How often are you seeing patients personally?
Yeah. So our clinic right now for chiropractic is open Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all day.
Okay.
So up to 32 hours if I'm booked solid. But,
wow.
I'd say we're somewhere in that 30 or so.
Okay. And do you normally, you book up, is that are we talking secrets of chiropractic? Like, do chiropractors normally book full, or is it?
I think it just depends on everyone's business.
Yeah.
I've been very fortunate and very grateful that I've got a great patient base, and they are keeping me busy.
Okay. Yeah. You have so much going on. Why don't you one more time? I want to get a sense for all the things that are going to be in that, and it's another mixed use, almost like the lights or what's happening up on
sort of.
Yeah,
but commercial and residential. Yeah.
Is there going to be a restaurant on the bottom at all, or is it all your stuff?
So all all of the commercial on the south side of the building on Center Avenue is all of our stuff. It's all of those entities. There's one other space, I believe, that's for commercial. It might be like 3,000 square feet. I think it's a title or abstract company that they were up in the FM building.
Okay.
They might still be there.
Yeah.
So that's the only commercial space that'll be in the whole building.
Okay. And so you'll have the chiropractic clinic. You'll have the gym. You'll have Herbalife shakes.
We'll be doing our own recipe and ingredients, but it'll be it's the fuel house that we'll be offering shakes, teas, and
is it going to be
coffee?
Is Herbalife going to be what's fueling that one?
No, we won't have any Herbalife.
Oh, okay. No. Yeah, because I think you had said that earlier.
That was an idea. Yeah.
Okay. Because there is somebody downtown here on 13th who does. I think it's the Daily Dose.
Okay.
All of their products are Herbalife.
Okay.
And they're a big network. They're a big marketer. Big networking person. But nothing like that. This is going to be.
We won't have. Yeah, it's all going to be our own stuff.
Will I be able to get a black coffee?
Let's ask Josh.
Okay.
Josh and Carla are working on all that stuff.
Every time I'd go to the Daily, because I just drink, black coffee has no calories. So I just drink.
Oh, there you go.
I just drink.
That's how you stay so slim.
I used to be 300 pounds. I say this a lot, but I really did.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What I realize is just a matter of accounting, right? So if you just keep track of everything that goes in and everything that goes out, the Fitbit tells me how much is going out, and you just keep this number smaller than that number, you will go down in weight. And it's as simple, like it's E equals MC squared. I lost 100 pounds over like 4 years.
Yeah. So, I kind of went through a similar journey that I lost 60 in the span of a year or so.
Yeah.
And kind of the same thing. I was just, making sure that I was exercising on a regular basis and then watching my calories.
Yeah.
Making sure that, it's a lot of it is portion control if you want to just do that. But making sure what you're allotted amount of calories and keeping underneath it and working out on top of that, and the weight came off.
If you want to be completely psychotic like me, you can buy like 5 food scales and just keep them around the kitchen so that you're like literally weighing everything.
Yeah.
That's how we roll at my house. I've been told it's fun to watch. But anyhow, I don't know how we got on that transgression. This is so much coming off. You've got so much about to be on, and I think we've got other business partners who I'd like to bring in and interview them once everything goes on, because I'm sure they all have an interesting story. And while their day-to-day might be similar to yours, I think we all have maybe a different origin story.
Sure.
What is it? When did Matt Lau decide to become a chiropractor, and where did that come in? You said that you were taught by the master who taught you how to have this massage therapist under you, which is brilliant. But where did you meet that person, or when did it all begin for you? When we were in high school together, you were class of 03.
Yep.
Was it already in your mind, or what did you want to be when you grew up?
Yeah, I guess I do remember a couple of experiences when I was younger, and so I was always very athletic, very into school, and there was a couple of injuries. One which I ended up seeing my chiropractor was we were out at Centennial in North Moorhead. Baseball camp, we're practicing head first slides, and I remember getting up from the slide and my neck was just kinked to the side, and I could not move it. Couldn't participate in any more of the camp. And so I went to the chiropractor, and that helped significantly. So that was kind of what I remember as my first
This was
experience.
the place in the mall?
Yep. It was the same.
You were how old?
Probably 12.
12?
I guess.
12. Okay, yeah, you were young. This was formative, like 7th grade. You're out there doing baseball.
Yep. And then I remember playing basketball for Moorhead and having some, this might have been 10th grade, a terrible sprained ankle, and having to go through a lot of physical therapy to kind of rehab for that. So for me, it was a lot to do with health and sports.
Yeah.
So that kind of drove me. And the biggest thing that led me to kind of split off of like physical therapy and chiropractic, I started shadowing my old partner, Dr. Platz, my chiropractor, my mentor at that time. And I could see that just the relationships of what you develop with chiropractic.
Sure.
And not to say that physical therapists don't as well, but my patients that have like a neck problem, a back problem, they're having those several times throughout the year. for me, spraining my ankle was kind of a one-off.
Yeah.
Some of those injuries just were, you might not have to return for anything like that. So it was a lot of the development of the relationships that we have with these patients in chiropractic, and just how often they're coming, getting to see their families, their kids, their parents, and all the referrals that they're. So it ended up being a lot of the relationship that kind of caused me to go to chiropractic.
Why do you think it is that massage therapy doesn't have such a big relationship style thing? And when you say relationships, I go back again and think of networking groups, which you've never been to a networking group.
I cannot recall being to a networking.
Because that's my whole world,
Yeah.
right? And that's like, I have to, like, and I always, and I do SBDC and like literally everybody. At our first meeting, I'm like, "What? How much networking are you doing? Here's a list of 15 places you need to go in the next week. Let's go
Sure.
run the circuit." I'm a firm believer in sitting in a room with a bunch of people week after week after week to build relationships.
Yeah.
Right. Build relationships. You don't do any of that, but you did see the relationship building. Your mentor, your senpai, he also. Didn't do networking groups. He was in a part.
I remember him telling some stories how he was in the JCs, so he had done that. But a lot of
and he wasn't like, you need to do this if you're going to do.
He might have encouraged it at one point. I can't specifically remember. I think a lot of my success has come from just being a Moorhead boy. Coming back and prioritizing living in Moorhead, bringing my kids to Moorhead, going through the Moorhead public schools. And already having that kind of name or recognition in the city. And then a lot of my success in business has just been word of mouth. I kind of have always thought, treat people the way that you want to be treated. I'm not there to sell things to them. I'm not there to sell long-term treatment plans. I just want to help people. So I always kind of thought that if I've taken care of people the right way, they'll take care of me in return. And it's 100% come to fruition.
And so to go back to that original thought I had, which is why is chiropractic so, what is it about chiropractic that's different from massage therapy?
So, and it wasn't so much of massage that I was talking about. It was more physical therapy as my two options that kind of I was going through. And I'm biased, so I'm not talking trash about physical therapy. We're actually going to be bringing in a physical therapist in the next couple of months to our clinic.
They're different tools for different jobs.
Yep.
And what I'm trying to get my hands around and try to understand is, what is the boundaries of those tools? What is it that makes them different? And why is it that one has a more long-term, because it feels like the physical therapy, you get better and then you never see him again. But
for me, it was just kind of biased off of my personal experiences that a lot of the chiropractic, our back pains, our neck pains, a lot of it's posture induced. If we're sitting at the desk, hunched over, sitting there for what could be 8 hours a day, like those are just things that you can't really avoid unless you have perfect ergonomic structure within your work setup. And that just is conducive to neck pains and stress and tension and all that is common things that I'm working on. Again, when I had a sprained ankle, I'm not doing a lot of things that are going to be really causing a sprained ankle. So not to say that physical therapists are only working on sprained ankles, but those really kind of nasty injuries, that is what I saw a physical therapist for. I'm seeing a lot of just the more normal daily activities of daily life kind of stuff that are kind of aggravating those.
Yeah, so physical therapy, and maybe, not as much massage therapy. That's why you said the physical therapy is more backwards looking, dealing with something that's happened, treating something broken, whereas probably chiropractic is forward looking, promoting wellness into the future, stopping you from being injured.
Sure.
Stopping you. So in a way, you're direct competition to the physical therapist, aren't you? You're going to bring somebody on and tell them, I'm going to do everything I can to stop somebody from seeing you.
Some of the things that we do are very similar, and some of the things we do are different. And it's not to say that I'm stopping them from doing or going to see them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stop people from actually going to see and needing surgery.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing. Like I don't really think of myself as in competition with physical therapists. We do similar things. We help different people. If we can do things naturally, which is kind of the root of chiropractic care and a lot of what physical therapists do as well.
Yeah.
And prevent that person from having to go through surgery or, cutting inside you. I think that's what we're trying to do first. Or needing medications if we can treat it naturally as well. So that's more of the underlying thought I would have with that.
Have you heard of the Wellness Collective here in town? Are they Melissa Paycheck?
I think I have heard of it. I don't know much on it.
Other previous guest of the show. I'll have to send you a link to their show. I think you guys would have a lot in common with them as well. That is a networking group.
Okay.
Yet another one just for wellness, because there's all kinds of wellness practitioners.
Yeah.
And you could just be hosting them out of your spot.
Yeah.
Like it'd be a great way. You get all those guys in there, and then they know about what you're doing. So. It's just I'm always thinking how to connect people. So I'll make a note now that it's happening on live, whatever, and I'm watching it back now. I'll remember, and I'll send you that link.
Perfect.
But I want to go back again and get more of that origin story, because you said, well, I had this injury, I had that injury, I kept going, and then yada yada yada. I have my mentor who's teaching me the ropes. I would like to understand the point of conception in your mind when it was, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go become a chiropractic. Like when did that happen? When did it enter your mind? And what was it like, the journey becoming one?
Yeah, I think it was after high school, probably in my first couple of years of college, that I started doing some shadowing.
What were you in college for?
So I started at Concordia. It technically might have been,
Because you're doing
psych. I might have been a psychology major
you're doing
at that point.
Shadowing.
Yeah.
So by the time you're doing shadowing, you've made up your mind.
I knew I wanted to do something in the health field.
So just anything health.
Right. And kind of narrow or trying to target. And so I remember switching over to NDSU in my sophomore year, and I think I might have been a pre-physical therapy program, because there wasn't really a pre-chiropractic program at NDSU.
The other chiropractor we had in here, she ended up with a degree in zoology.
Right. And so that's kind of how NDSU was steering me as well. It was zoology or maybe another option.
And you said, forget that, I'm doing physical therapy.
Well, so actually I got my 90 credits of undergrad kind of prerequisite credits, and then I went over to Northwestern Chiropractic College in Bloomington, where I both got my doctorate and simultaneously got my bachelor's.
So you didn't 90 is not enough for a bachelor's? I don't know.
No, that was just prerequisites for chiropractic college at that time. So I did some night school, some after. After five or so.
So you went into college knowing I want to do something in the health.
It was really just health.
Health. But where did it become? I mean, do you not recall having an epiphany like chiropractic is the direction to go? Because it's not like it's. I feel like, okay, I'm going to do health, and am I going to end up in radiology or pediatrics or podiatry or blah, like all these things are inside the establishment. What I find interesting about chiropractic is it's definitely what people call an alternative medicine, right? Like it is outside of the box. There had to be, seems like you were playing in the sandbox. Now, you are probably one of the ones that it sounds like you're synergizing more with the inside the box allopathic people anyway, but at some point you were inside the box and you decided to do something outside of the box. There had to be...
Yeah, I remember like it was between those two options. It was between physical therapy and chiropractic. And at some point I was reaching out to what was my chiropractor at that time and asked to shadow him, and just kind of followed him around for a week or so.
Yeah.
And then, I remember I had always just loved the crack of the bones.
Oh, really?
I remember remember sitting in school and we lean over those perfectly shaped chairs and your whole back just cracks. Sure. I mean, I always just love that anyway. I think I was maybe kind of leaning towards chiropractic anyway. But shadowing him,
And what was
something
that?
there clicked.
And so you just picked up the phone. You said, "Hey doc, I see you every week. Do you mind if I follow you around like a lost puppy?" Like this was 2006,
Probably
2000.
Yeah, 2000.
So we still had flip phones.
2005.
We still had flip phones, right? Like, did you telephone call them or text them? Like, do you remember?
Man, these are specific details. I don't remember.
I really want to get the pic. This was what changed your life.
Yeah, I suppose.
If you had not gotten, because just stop and think about it. If you had not gotten a hold of him, if you had called and he said, I'm busy, or you texted him and he ghosted you, or whatever.
Sure.
You might have ended up shadowing somebody at Merit Care.
Oh.
We didn't have Sanford back then, right? You might have, you might have said, "I can't get a hold of whomever. I'm going to try my family medicine doctor at Merit Care." You could have ended up shadowing in the medical ward, and then where would you be? You want to be opening the Forge.
Yeah.
Right? And so this one phone call, this one text message changed your life forever. And you don't even remember it.
No, not specifically. I kind of like what I touched on earlier. I kind of think everything happens for a reason. So had I, making that call, the fact that he answered and allowed me to shadow and schedule the time, and I think it was all kind of meant to be.
Wow.
I try not to think about all the other options because that's just where anxiety comes from.
Well, and I'm a very anxious person.
I've been learning with my own mental health how to deal with that.
Everything I do is very just like insanely deliberate. There's nothing happens on accident. It's all with the most intention, and I'm constantly weighing, and I'm a very anxious person. And maybe that's why you have 12,000 square feet about to open up and I don't,
No.
right? Because it sounds like you're the type to kind of move with the wind, and I move with the wind, but my eyes are always like watching every detail and stressing about them.
Yeah.
You seem
I haven't
to
always
just
been this way.
have a faith. Okay.
I haven't always been this way.
What made you so relaxed?
I think
it's an alpha move to be so relaxed. You know what I mean? It's very macho, very
right.
cool.
Well, thank you.
Like, hey, whatever happens, it happens. Like, I love it.
I think a lot of it, to answer that question, went back to last year, having a separation, going through divorce, and I really kind of leaned into mental health counseling and therapy. So there's a lot of, starting to go through that for what I thought was depression ended up being more anxiety.
Yeah.
And just how to cope with that.
Yeah.
And a lot of what I kind of learned from that is just be grateful for all the good things.
Yeah.
And because a lot of anxiety is worrying about what could be the bad things.
Yep,
You're protecting yourself. So
yeah.
I've really kind of focused on more gratitude.
Yeah.
And leaning into the things that I have. And kind of just things will work out.
Yeah.
And so the people that I have in my life have come into my life for a reason. Not that I went out and searched for them. They just have come to me. And I think life kind of gives you what you need.
Wow. It's a beautiful sentiment, and I like it a lot.
Now try that, Conrad.
Yeah.
Try that in your personal life.
Well, I've got a lot of balls in the air, but every single one of them I had to go out and grab and force into the air. But I probably could use a lot of what. I wish I was more like you. I'm glad I now have a hero.
That's very kind.
I can look up to you, and maybe you can teach me. You are a full year older than I am.
Yeah.
So
older.
Did you turn 40 this year?
Only slightly wiser. Yeah. just in that aspect, I guess.
What's it like being 40? Because I'm scared S-less. I've got another 8 months before.
Honestly, if I compare 40 to 39, 40 has been fantastic.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So because 39, you were like, oh my god, it's coming.
39 there was a lot of stuff going on in my life at 39,
and
but 40 we're rocking and rolling, and all these good things are happening.
So paint the shadowing for me just a little bit. I mean, I know you don't recall the details of how you came to the agreement with this person, but I think there's a lot of people who are out there and they're saying, I'd like to have something in this arena. I'd like to have something similar to A, B, or C. they want to get connected somehow. They think, should I do an internship? And it sounds like this wasn't an internship. It was more.
It was more shadowing.
What even is that? Like, you just showed up and hung out? Like,
I remember. I mean, I had already had a kind of a personal experience and relationship with him. I grew up with his son, Luke Platson.
Okay.
So we were friends since we were young. I knew of the chiropractor.
So
Jeff.
you were very comfortable with this guy.
Yeah, 100%. Where were we at with that?
Well, and so when you came to do the shadowing, I mean, you just walked in and just sat there and just like watched him.
Yeah, honestly, the shadowing was just a lot of kind of hanging out in the room, watching him, how he kind of addressed the patients, how he communicated with them.
Was he kind of like, hey kid, come here, put your hand right here?
No.
It wasn't.
We would get in a lot of trouble if we had someone who had no idea what they're doing, put their hands on a patient.
Okay.
No, it was strictly, just I remember kind of standing up against the wall and just following him around like a shadow.
And he didn't ask you to do that. You asked him to do that.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think most people have it in their head to even ask somebody, can I come watch you for 2 days?
Yeah, well, I 100% think everyone should. You know, if you've got an idea, it's kind of like test driving a car. Yeah, really. I mean, you've got such a big thing at which will be your career. Yeah. Why not get your feet wet and get in there and see what it actually is about, instead of just reading something on Google that tells you. Yeah. Go see what it is.
Yeah. And you obviously have a lot of drive, a lot of get up and go, but it's not so deliberate. Like, you just kind of, I'm going to do what's in front of me, which is very cool. Like, that's very, very cool. And so then you shadow him, and then you went into university? And it was the university experience. So I was kind of doing that while I was in undergrad, and then applied to chiropractic school, got in, started there, and kind of kept in contact with him throughout the next few years of chiropractic school. Yeah. How I'd keep touching base. I was letting him know where I was. There's employment opportunities that you're kind of waiting and seeing and checking if there's anything there. I know he had an option in Crookston that he was trying to push me and guide me towards. I came back, shadowed a couple other people looking for employment opportunities, kind of get to know them, create relationships. That was more, that kind of shadowing was more networking, and seeing what was out there. And then it just actually something really weird happened as I was graduating. I came back and did my last internship, my T10, my 10th trimester internship at the clinic that I was, Sorley Platson Chiropractic at that time in the Moorhead Center Mall. And what is now my current partner, Dr. Matt Gilbertson, had been working there. He was transitioning out of chiropractic, going to work at Tobalt and Thunderseed with his in-laws. And so he transitioned out of chiropractic. That opened up an opportunity for me to come in. Again, life just happens and does what you need. Wow. And 7-8 years later, he kind of came back, was looking to get back into chiropractic. My partner, who was my chiropractor, my mentor, was looking to retire. And Dr. Gilbertson came in and bought him out, and we've been partners ever since. Well, things just keep happening to all of you guys.
That's how it is. Just let go and let it happen, Conrad.
Keeps happening. Oh boy,
just let it go.
Yeah, that is crazy. And so then you took over. You were in the mall for ever and ever and ever until Roars kicked you out. They took over.
Roars. It was less of a kick out than It felt that way. It felt that way, but we had owned our space. We were one of the places that actually owned their space. So, we eventually came to an agreement where they bought our location.
So that mall was all condos. You owned the space in the mall.
It was split up in condos. We had 8 individual owners, and then Roars kind of owned the majority of it.
Oh,
so
neat.
There was a part where it was stressful, but eventually we came to an agreement with Jim Roars and sold our space, and they were fluid and flexible and let us kind of stay there for the next what's been the last 2 years or so.
That's wild. And when you put out and said, I'm going to go from 20 to 80 miles an hour, I need some help. And that's, when Josh met you, that was like, what, just a Facebook post?
Yeah, I think I had done some social media stuff that it was at that point that we were expanding the clinic. We were looking for all these different practitioners so to create this multidisciplinary clinic. And then on top of that, I think there was a specific post that said we're going to have this 24/7 fitness center and looking for gym and spa managers as well. And Josh kind of reached out to us, and we met. I remember meeting him at the clubhouse, and kind of just things grew. The more that we talked with him, and the history that he had behind like startups of businesses, he had a little bit of a history, and I think it might have been some during the COVID times where he did some exercise and workout stuff. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's just kind of the more we talked, and Josh has really proven a great asset in the behind the kind of the numbers stuff and the building and principles and that kind of stuff with the new business.
That's astonishing. What a story. I'm so glad you came in. One last thing I like to ask. Can you believe it? It's already 48 after.
You told me that this was going to happen, and I could not believe it.
Yeah, it goes very
It does.
quickly. You almost forget that there's a camera there. There's a camera there. There are people listeling to us at 95.9 KRFF. We're live on the radio. You forget. You're going to receive a magic power, and it's going to be 3 words for you to send back in time. I want you to send to 18-year-old Matt Lau, class of 03. So we're sending it back to 2003. 3 words to change your life. Although maybe there's nothing you don't want to change. You certainly could do with less stress somehow. You're such an easygoing guy. I think everybody wants to change their life somehow, but I don't know. Maybe you don't want to change your life. I don't know. Maybe you just tell them.
Again, I think everything happens for a reason, so wow. I don't know that I want to go back and change much. But
3 words.
Kind of the big one. Well, one, my dad kind of always lived off of integrity. I'd tell that to my 18-year-old self. The only other one I can really think of is what I really kind of am building on right now is just that gratitude. Just be grateful for all the good things that are happening.
Wow. Yeah.
So there's 2.
There you go. Integrity and gratitude. There you go. Those are the 3 words. That's amazing. You're an amazing guy.
Thank you, Conrad.
I always appreciate when I meet somebody different from me. It's because I don't exactly understand your moving parts. So that's very cool. Why don't you let's talk about, because we've got maybe 5 more minutes.
Sure.
The song that you chose, which was Steven Wilson, Hardy Father's Son. What is that song?
So this is Steven Wilson Jr. is an artist that I've been really following for the last couple of years. He's not really one that's being played much on the radio. Kind of a more of a country guy. And so this song, Father's Son, more speaks to his relationship with his dad being named after his dad. But my dad passed away 5 years ago. My dad was kind of my hero, the guy that I just looked up to. Yeah. So this song kind of really means a lot to me. Like, I am my father's son, and that's kind of who I am and I'm trying to be, and kind of leaning into that.
Oh, that's such a beautiful sentiment. Well, we will be listening to that when the show wraps up. But before then, why don't you go ahead, let all of our listeners know how they can find you, what you've got going on. Go ahead, plug yourself, and whatever it is, however they would can contact you, or what you'd like them to do for you.
Yeah, so we're chiropractic, massage, aesthetics, downtown health and wellness in Center Avenue, Moorhead, in the new building, kind of close to Shields there on Center. You can find us on social medias as The Forge, The Oasis, Downtown Health and Wellness, Downtown Aesthetics, soon to be The Fuel House. We'll have that one up and running. To schedule any chiropractic treatments, any massage, 218-236-5151. And we're always accepting, we can accept walk-ins, new patients, anyone and everyone. Any ages. I've treated as young as 3 days old in the clinic, and I've treated as up to 103 years old. So any ages, genders, anyone, we can help you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming, Matt. And of course, I'm Conrad Fargo. You can find me anywhere that you can type in Conrad and Fargo. All you got to do is open up, and if it's got a keyboard and you type in Conrad and Fargo. Matt, there is a small website. It's growing. Maybe you've heard of it, Amazon.com.
Yeah.
You ever heard of that?
Yeah. Recently I heard of it.
If you type in Conrad and Fargo. Now, if you type in Conrad, Hotel Conrad, memorabilia, you know there's a hotel called Conrad? That hotel.
I could be convinced.
It's very expensive. When I lived in Japan, I went there and I was like, oh my God, because nothing ever has my name on it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Matt, you've got all these things, the keychains and yada, yada,
Yeah,
yada, yada.
and the doormats.
There's not... I see what you
got
did there.
it.
There's never anything that says Conrad on it, but I walked into this hotel and everything had my name on it. It was
wow.
very cool.
You felt at home.
But it was like $5,000 a night, and this is like in 2007.
Well, you're a classy guy.
Yeah, well, no, I ain't that classy. I bought a rubber ducky from there. It was like
you did.
It was $20 for the rubber ducky because I literally don't have anything ever that has my name on it.
Sure.
It's like my prize possession. It's
There you go.
in my trophy case with all my other life trophies. But anyhow, so if you go to Amazon, type in Conrad, that's the kind of stuff that comes up is Hotel Conrad stuff. If you type in Fargo, the show comes up. And even they're into season 5. So even if you type in Fargo 5, do you know what you get? Season 5 of Fargo and all kinds of stuff about that. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
And I figured you take the two words, Conrad and Fargo, they're pretty unique. You put them together. And I was right, because do you know what happens if you put both of them in at the same time? I'm there.
That's the magic elixir
Me.
right there.
I'm there.
Yeah.
You can listen to the podcast on Amazon, on Apple, iTunes. You open that up, you type in Conrad and Fargo. Like, share, and subscribe, because this show is amazing. This is how we meet wonderful people like Matt Lau. Thank you so much for coming.
Conrad, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. We're going to listen to Stephen Wilson Jr., Hardy, father, son, and we will see you all next week. Goodbye.